As advertised, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs is here, Mike White. We're going to ask him to make a statement on his team about being here in Wichita, Kansas. Then we'll go to questions. Mike, please.
Great to be here. Our guys are excited. I'm excited. Our staff's excited. I know our fan base is excited. Chuck's excited. Ready to have a good shoot-around today in this arena and then go over to Wichita and have a great practice. That's it. We couldn't be more excited about being here. And our approach has been good. Gonzaga's terrific. And we anticipate playing well and it being a great game.
Thank you. Questions start right here in the aisle.
Mike, obviously you guys just got through playing a gauntlet of an SEC schedule, beating some good teams. How, in what ways can that experience help y'all in a game like this against Gonzaga tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's prepared us to be as resilient as just about any team in the country, which is really unique for the lack of experience that our group has. It shows the character and the connectivity, the mental toughness that our group has. We'll respond to adversities, to runs. What does that mean for the outcome of the game? Who knows? But it's a resilient group, and you've got to be resilient in situations like this against really good teams on the big stage because adversities are coming.
2 questions on the left-hand side. Go.
Yeah, what have you seen out of R.J. Godfrey and what he's brought to the team this year, and how has his past NCAA tournament experience helped you guys, especially with preparation for this week?
R.J.'s as consistent as anyone that I've coached. There's 2 or 3 other guys on this team uniquely that I would put in that category as well. His experience in going to the Elite Eight last year was some of the things that he's talked about, in meetings, in the apartment, in the locker room, in the film room, amongst us as a staff, hold weight because he's been there and he's done that. And he's not a guy chasing numbers. He makes winning plays. He's better than his numbers indicate. He's really valuable to this team and to this program.
Yeah, Mike, you look at tomorrow and the stage and players rising to the occasion on the biggest stage. You look at Asa Newell. What is it about him that makes you believe he's ready for this big stage? He's
unfazed. He has been since our first game. We knew a week in, probably a month in, that he was special. We're winding down here. He's never had a bad practice. He's never had a bad day. He's the same guy every day. He could start a game missing his first 4. He might make his next 4. His face expression is not going to change. He's still going to be compliant in terms of making winning plays, passing to the guy that's open, chasing offensive rebounds, closing out correctly. He's just he's a winning player. He's been a huge pleasure to coach. He's a great teammate. He is humility. He is consistency. He's a stud.
Well, speaking of Asa, how much has it helped having his older brother on the team and helping him kind of navigate that spotlight as you kind of went through the season?
Jaden's made a big impact on this program even before Asa got here, but he's been a positive impact on Asa, of course. He hasn't taken it easy on Asa, especially in that first couple weeks, 3-4 weeks of practice, where Asa knew he had his hands full, with other front court guys that have made him better, including his brother. And I'm sure there's a lot of mentorship that Jaden has provided Asa that we're not even aware about, as a staff. Those guys spend a lot of time together. They live together. Got a beautiful family. And Asa, obviously, deservedly so, is in a lot of the headlines, right? And individually, he's a terrific player. But Jaden means a lot to this program as well.
All right, we're here, then we're on the aisle, and then over on the right-hand side in that order. Go, please.
Mike, obviously a big challenge from a backcourt and front court standpoint in this ball game, specifically about Gonzaga's front court. Those guys are very adept at drawing fouls. I mean, very physical around the rim. the challenge for your big guys not to, to be able to still defend the rim, but not get in early foul trouble in this one.
Yeah, foul discipline's a big key to this game, particularly with Gonzaga's ability to convert. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. It's not just front court play; it's back court play as well. They've got guards that can make shots. Battle can sprint into him. He can drive it, create his own. Hickman's got a beautiful stroke. They've got guards off the bench that are really good, and they've got arguably the best passer in college basketball in Nembhard, who's just an unbelievable quick thinker and surgeon of a passer. Sees things before they happen, makes everyone around him better. Good speed, good player, just a really, really good player. And he makes those guys better. But our bigs got to be in full alert, and it starts the second that they get a defensive rebound or you score. Just it starts in transition for them. Their tempo is terrific. Their early post touches, their late post touches, their ball screen execution. Collectively, we've just got to be on point. We got to be really good defensively. It's one of the best offensive teams that we will have played all season.
Okay, we're on the aisle. We got two on the right-hand side. Come back to these two here. Go, please.
Mike, you're sharing your part of the bracket with two of the most successful teams in the programs in the country, Gonzaga and Houston. When you allow yourself to kind of dream or hope, would it be correct to assume that's kind of where you want to get to, where you're here every year and playing for titles?
Yeah, I mean it's one day at a time for us. It's growth. We've spent 3 years rebuilding, and we're proud of where we are, but it's about Gonzaga, and that's it. That is it. It's about today and our preparation and playing really well and optimistically thinking if we play really well down the stretch, we'll have a chance. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself.
Coach, your team is fairly fresh in NCAA tournament experience. You're going against a program with a whole lot of it. How do you attack that as a coach and kind of prepare your guys for what they're going to experience tomorrow and, moving on if you guys keep winning?
We're attacking it with hunger, we're chasing it with excitement. We're going to play with joy. We're going to play with connection. Playing a program that's been to a bunch of Sweet 16s in a row, right? It's important to them. It's got to be important to us, just to play our best. But again, it's not nearly as much about outcomes for us right now. It's about playing well. It's just about playing well, and it's a big neutral site. We've had some neutral sites games against high-level opponents. This is elevated. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that. We've hyped this thing up with our guys. It's the NCAA tournament, right? It's the big stage. It's what our guys came to Georgia for. It's really exciting for them. We're not going to downplay that, but we're focused on playing well and being sharp today.
On Selection Sunday, you talked about the team's resilience, and Blue said this is something that you talked about every day in practice.
Yeah.
Is this something that you feel like you've had to instill in your team, or is this something that they've just showed up and kind of showcased every day?
No, I think when you've got guys that are bought in, when you've got a good culture, what you emphasize, as long as your guys are connected, you're going to get better at. And with this group, again, a lot of the mental pieces of the game we've emphasized because of our youth and because of our lack of winning experience. At the end of the day, it's the fact that Blue Kane and Silas Demery and Dylan James and Asa Newell and R.J. Godfrey and all these guys have embraced it and collectively they've pushed forward for months and months to get better in these areas, to become, again, a really resilient group. Sometimes we're good offensively. Most of the time we're good defensively, but we're always resilient.
We have about 5 minutes left in this session. We have 2 questions up. Go, please.
Hey, you mentioned Nembhard earlier, got some familiarity with that family. How far back do you go sort of knowing Ryan, and what stands out to you about his game?
Oh, a long time. I'd have to get the calculator out. I've been around him since he was a young player, seen him play a bunch. Big fan of his game, big fan of his older brother's game, of course. We talk about our team's toughness and resilience. Both he and his brother have that. They just do. And it's been fun studying him these past 72 hours or so. And you watch. We're all college basketball fans, and you watched him over the years. But the more you watch him, the more you appreciate how tough he is, how smart he is, how he makes everyone around him better. We talk about Ace's ability to be unfazed and unflappable. That's what Ryan Nembhard is as well. He's just a heck of a player.
That question was scratched. Anything else for the head coach? Yes, we're going right in the back.
Mike, I know that you've seen a couple of Coach Few's teams, albeit it was a while ago, but how different or how similar is this Gonzaga team to the ones that you saw 8-9 years ago when you were at Florida in terms of the characteristics and style of play?
Very similar, Mike, and I think that's one of the beauties of their program and what Coach Few's accomplished for a long time is their consistency. Probably with how they recruit, how they play, what they run, how they defend. It's been very consistent for a long time. I will tell you the one thing that sticks out that makes this team a little bit different than those other teams that we've competed against are the fact that there was probably more balance in their backcourt with three guards that were pretty similar as opposed to this team that's got a quarterback, and the nation's best passer next to some guys that score it, so they're a little bit more diverse, with their backcourt. Front court very similar, very deep, pounded inside, very efficient scoring twos at the rim. Another really good team.
All the way again.
And just to follow up, as far as coming to the NCAA tournament, different venue, same game, are there things that you do to help your team adjust to the NCAA tournament versus the SEC tournament versus the regular season? Is there a message for young players like Asa that maybe haven't been on this platform? Anything different about how you prepare out here versus SEC play or regular season?
Yeah, we're trying not to make it mentally for our guys where it's overly different. I want our guys to be excited, but I want them to continue to understand it's a big neutral site game against a very good team, and we've been there, and it is do or die, and we've been there. We were sent home last week. Until you actually play in it, I'm not sure that your guys will fully feel it, right? I think at the first media timeout, they will have felt it, and we will have to respond to some positives and to some negatives throughout the game. But this group's done that, and now it's time to do it at the biggest stage, or on the biggest stage, rather.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
We have Bulldogs versus Bulldogs at 3:35 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. Gonzaga is up next at 12:35 p.m. Central.